Rob Schneider just destroyed one of the biggest names in music with a single open letter. So the feminist grievous industry is in full panic because Rob Schneider asked one simple question. Okay, woke Hollywood loses it every time people like Rob Schneider opens their mouth, and this week is no exception. What started as a tidy 4th of July talking point became an insane, hilarious backfire the moment Rob Schneider replied, and the backlash keeps getting worse. And Rob Schneider is once again walking away with the last laugh. So singer Alicia Keys had called for an update on women's equal rights, apparently. Okay. And it's no surprise at all because it's known that, Alicia Keys has been leaning left politically hard and everything, and it's nothing new. But on July 4th, while the country celebrated its 250th birthday, Alicia Keys posted a video on Instagram telling her millions of followers that American women still do not have equal rights. Okay, so let's go ahead and watch this video on what she had to say.
Did you know that it's been 100 years since the Equal Rights Amendment was first introduced? And now, still, women don't have an explicit guarantee to equal rights under the U.S. Constitution. Can you believe that? I couldn't even believe that was real. I mean, women are not asking for special rights, just equal rights. Let's turn outrage into authorship. If it's the 250th celebration of the country, isn't it time to update some things? What rights or guarantees do you feel all women should have in America? It's a good question. I'm not here to speak for you. I just want to pass you the mic. So have your say at peoplesbillofrights250.org.
Okay, so basically, she pointed out to the Equal Rights Amendment first introduced a century ago and never ratified, and claimed that women have no explicit guarantee of equality under the Constitution. She actually framed it as women asking for nothing more than fairness. On the single most patriotic day of the year, one of the wealthiest women in the world chose to tell everyone how oppressed she is. So Keys is a 15-time Grammy winner worth well over $100 million. She votes, she owns property, she runs businesses, she signs contracts, and she speaks to the entire planet whenever she feels like it. And every one of those rights is guaranteed to her by law, identical to any man in the country and stuff. And the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment and everything, I mean, it actually already forbids sex discrimination, and courts have enforced it for decades. So the oppression she described does not follow up anywhere in her own life. And Schneider, Rob Schneider, a comedian himself and stuff, he went scorched earth, basically. A comedian from the 90s whom Hollywood spent years mocking as a washed up punchline, fired back in an open letter that tore the whole complaint apart. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read that open letter that he's posted on X and stuff in response to what Alicia Keys posted. Okay, so he says, quote, "Dear Alicia Keys, name one right that women don't have in America. I will wait. Please know that women are free to join men working on offshore oil rigs, on deep sea crabbing and fishing vessels, logging trees with gigantic chainsaws, underwater welding for bridge construction, and underground mining. You and pretty lady friends can also collect garbage and recycling at 6 a.m. And when you're done with that, you girls are welcome to risk your lives restoring electricity on high power lines. These rights are waiting for you, but your gals won't do it because you need men to do it, because that's what men do, risk their lives day in and day out. So you lovely girls can just pretend that all those things magically take care of themselves while you bee and moan about perceived injustices and lack of rights. So you go, girl, enjoy your electricity and your roads being repaired and your garbage being magically picked up every Tuesday morning and your fancy vegetables and grass-fed steaks trucked into your grocery store at 5 a.m. while you have Vietnamese ladies paint your toenails. You can call it toxic masculinity, but you would cry your lovely fake eyelashes off when your air conditioning breaks down for more than 3 hours. You're welcome. Yours truly, men." Dang. So he just listed the jobs that keep our country running: brutal, dangerous, unglamorous work, done almost entirely by men. Offshore drilling, deep sea fishing, logging, underwater welding, mining, garbage collection at 6 in the morning, repairing high voltage power lines in a storm, road work in the summer heat. Those are the trades with the highest death rates in the nation, staffed overwhelmingly by men who would never win a Grammy or post a victimhood video from a mansion. Now, I know what y'all thinking. Some of y'all probably thinking that, well, these are men and women are different. They have body types and da. Oh, so apparently, when it comes to the kind of tasks and risks that are at hand, all of a sudden, women can't do those jobs or shouldn't do those jobs. Okay, let's be real. On one side, it sits a multimillionaire entertainer telling the world she's a victim from the comfort of a recording studio and a mansion. On the other side, stand working men crushed, burned, and buried during the jobs nobody thanks them for. Roughly 9 in 10 workplace deaths in this country happen to men year after year, and you would never see a celebrity post a slick Instagram video about that number. Schneider held up that mirror, and the reflection made the whole complaint look absurd. So, yes, her defenders accused Schneider of missing the point, of being a bitter has-been, of not understanding a constitutional law. But what none of them managed to do was name that missing right, because it does not exist. The louder they yelled, the more they proved his point for him. I mean, you can't win an argument by insisting that your feelings outrank a direct factual challenge. Okay, so yeah, plenty of them tried to do that anyway. And Rob Schneider keeps connecting with regular Americans while the celebrity class keeps losing them. Rob Schneider talks like, a normal person who has actually met a working man who's probably been a working man himself. And Rob Schneider shrugs off the party invitations he might lose and says the obvious thing out loud. And that fearlessness from Rob Schneider is rare in an industry built on conformity. And Rob Schneider has it in spades. So this is exactly why the letter from Rob Schneider traveled far better than anything he's posted. Okay. And that's saying a lot right now. But the ERA was introduced in 1993 and passed Congress in 1972, but it fell short of ratification by the states and stuff. So that's a genuine historical fact. What Keyes left out is that the practical protections the amendment was meant to provide already exist through the 14th Amendment and decades of civil rights law. Now, women in America hold the same legal rights as men right now today, whether or not one specific amendment carries a particular label. Okay, so basically the genius of Rob Schneider himself was refused to argue on their emotional terms, with Rob Schneider sidestepped the shouting match about feelings and vibes entirely, and Rob Schneider asked for one concrete example and then pointed at the men dying in the deadliest trades in the country. Now, a plain question and a hard fact are the tools Rob Schneider used to puncture a manufactured narrative. The grievance industry cannot survive that kind of specificity, kind of thing, which is why the reply from Rob Schneider stung so badly. So, yeah. Basically, all of this is nothing new and stuff, but the numbers behind these dangerous jobs made the whole complaint even harder to defend. So if you enjoy what we're sharing this video, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go and continue with the video. So yes, a generation of celebrities and stuff has discovered that claiming victimhood is the fastest route to applause, no matter how much money and power they actually hold. Okay, that's nothing surprising right there at all, because Keyes sits comfortably at the top of American life by every measure a reasonable person would use. Yet the performance of oppression buys instant moral status inside her industry. Schneider called that bluff in public, and the discomfort in the response was the sound of a script being interrupted. So these people are used to applause, not questions. And Rob Schneider connects with audiences precisely because he keeps saying plain things in plain language, while the entertainment world chases every trend and policies, polices every opinion. So basically, the working people are exhausted by just being told that they're the villains or victims by stars who have never done a hard day of physical labor. And when someone with the platform finally speaks to that exhaustion, it resonates. And this letter resonated because it was true, blunt, and impossible to spin. So yeah, the score on this one touched entirely toward Rob Schneider, and Rob Schneider asked one simple question that no critic has been able to answer. So Rob Schneider honored the men who did the deadliest work in the country while he did it, and he's got a viral moment that she may regret, and Rob Schneider got the last laugh yet again. And the washed up punchline of the 2000s keeps outmaneuvering in an industry that thought it had left Rob Schneider behind. Did I say 2000s? I meant the 90s. Now, the lesson from Rob Schneider reaches far past one open letter and one holiday pass, where Rob Schneider reminded the whole country that gratitude and honesty land harder than manufactured grievance. Real equality has been settled law for decades, and Rob Schneider says so without flinching. So yeah, if this breakdown of Rob Schneider worked for you in this video and stuff, be sure to also watch the previous video on Taylor Swift wedding meltdown if this as one that you should watch too. Also, drop your take on Rob Schneider in the comments and hit that like button before you go.